Yo, what's good? What's good? Back with another Avenger stream. Okay, I see we got audio. Just making sure we not having any other issues we had on one of the more recent streams. How's everybody feeling? Appreciate you guys showing up early on a Friday. I know people got a lot of stuff going on. I intended to have the stream, yesterday, but I had some stuff, come up. I had, car problems and stuff like that I had to take care of. So that ended up pushing the stream back to this morning, but we're here. I see we got a couple people in chat. I was chatting with Cosmic Wolf not too long ago, and I saw Winter Soldier say what's up. So if you guys are still hanging around, what's good? We got Rockstar, Dante, Jason Sear, Karen. Yep, I think that's everybody. Everybody who's chatted so far. But as always, guys, if you have a second and you want to support the channel for free, smash that like button. It definitely helps support. And what's up, KBT, Reginald, Tony, Fetty, how you doing? And as the title of the video and the thumbnail and everything suggests, we're gonna be talking about the new strategy that they seem to be implementing when it comes to their monetization plan, primarily centered around the marketplace, and if this strategy is intended to turn things around for the game financially, or if they're potentially using those resources now to fund a recently announced project. Which speaking of that, let me grab that really quick because we do have to talk about that. One sec. But yeah, they recently made a big announcement that we'll be talking about. Yeah. Grab this really quick. And give me 2 seconds and we should be good. Alright, so I got that out of the way. But yeah, it's looking like they are definitely making some recent changes. Yeah, Rockstar, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And again, it's like that's a legitimate question you have to ask yourself concerning the game itself, especially after the recent news that came from Miller. What's good, Bucky Barnes? Glad to see you here, bro. Hope you've been enjoying leveling up in Avengers. Hopefully you of all people are at 175 by now. But yeah, it's like it's a lot going on heading into the new year, and I know after the news that came out in Miller's article talking about the game, essentially wrapping things up in 2023, that doesn't instill a lot of confidence and optimism, for the future or the bigger future for Avengers, which of course goes, against some of the things we heard this year from some of the developers themselves who were kind of selling the idea that there would be a bigger and brighter future. But we're gonna break it all down. Like I said, I got a lot of the skins that Miller shared recently queued up, which is hilarious. But it's like it's all on brand, and it's all fitting into the theme of, is this a new strategy that they're implementing, or like how much of this was planned ahead, and how much of this is kind of like just a response to what they saw recently with the Winter Soldier. What's up, Bougie Nas? How you doing? What's up, Phoenix? So if you were around last, what was that? Well, he's been out 2 weeks at this point. If you were around for the Winter Soldier's release, you know that he came in a bundle. With his well, you know that his MCU skins came in a bundle. What's up, Zachary? I'm good. Appreciate you guys coming through as always. And again, if you're just popping in, we're just kind of getting started, so you haven't missed anything really. Just touching on what we'll be talking about. And if you haven't already, make sure you smash that like. It definitely helps support the channel. But they handle his bundle, which has 3 variations of his MCU skin from the Winter Soldier, where you have the mask and goggles, you have just the mask, and then you have no mask and no goggles. So instead of selling all 3 separately, they bundled them up for I believe 2,200 credits, and each skin individually is 1,400 credits. But if you get them in the bundle, you're of course saving a ton of money. But it's I don't know how much of that was pre-planned. If that was just something they wanted to see how fans will respond to. But at the same time, looking at some of these skins that they have in the pipeline, it has to have been planned. And then if that's the plan, what is the motivation behind that? Because as of right now, it's a bit of a gray area as far as what supporting this game, financially is doing for the future of the game. The studio hasn't come out and made a statement either way in regards to Miller's recent article that have generated multiple rumors about the game stopping and stopping development and support beyond 2023. What's up, One Shot One Kill? What's up, Killer Noise? Squall Cloud. What's good to you? And yeah, it's like it's not off brand for them to just kind of ignore stuff like that and not address it at all, and just kind of take a business as usual approach as far as their day to day. But that news does have the potential to hurt them financially. So if they are genuinely trying to generate more revenue to probably work things out behind the scenes, or have a little more flexibility behind the scenes, the news and rumor that things that, because the sources that Miller's working with, either one of them at the very least, or some of them at the most, is coming from inside the project itself. So one of his sources at the very least is very close to the project and is feeding him information coming directly from relevant news around the project, which is how he knew about Jane Foster, which is how he knew about the transition from She-Hulk being the next hero to Bucky Barnes being the next hero, which he called out both of those well ahead of the official release and announcement. And so they know, just like we know, that he has a very credible source close to the project. And for him to say that he's now hearing that there are plans, the new plan is to end development in 2023, that you have to take that a lot more seriously than you would the typical narrative spreaders who say the game is dying every other week and every other day. But yeah, it's like you're seeing things like this. So this new Avenger skin for Iron Man just hit the marketplace yesterday, which of course Miller called out along with the rest of the skins I'll be showing here days before. And it's a great looking skin. Like, don't get me wrong, it's an amazing looking skin, and I know there were a ton of people who grabbed it day one, but also now a lot of people who would have grabbed this skin day one have been vocal about being hesitant about further supporting the game, because it's now cemented in their mind that the game is dying and support isn't going to be continued. So if they're not continuing support, what are they doing with the money that they're getting from the skins that we're now purchasing? Which is a very valid question. That's not hating on the game. That's not being negative about the game. That's a fair question, because again, I don't expect them to come out and address what Miller has said or the rumor that's now circulating, but it doesn't bode well. It kind of hurts your cause if you are trying to implement a new monetization strategy to kind of generate more income to just to give you a little more flexibility. So maybe that results in being able to hire one or two more roles for the team to kind of help things along for the next year. So I don't genuinely believe it's cemented that plans are done for next year. So the idea is cemented that next year development will cease. I think there's still some flexibility there, but if that's the direction they're leaning, and something like this was designed to kind of give them a little bit of an edge in towards going the other way as far as keeping the doors open. Now, with players willing to withhold, funding and things like that, that doesn't that kind of closes that little bit of hope that you even have with something like this. So it's like, one, how do we interpret this new strategy, and two, what's the motivation behind it? So you have bundles like this getting ready to hit the marketplace where you can pick up both of these. I think this one is available now, where you can pick them up with the mask and you can pick them up without the mask. And if you already have the one with the mask, this skin only comes at 500 credits, I believe. So if you're only spending 500 credits on this, you can look at that as a deal. There are people who have been vocal about, hey, something like this would the only real difference is the mask is off. So an aesthetic change like that simple arguably could have been free, but this is the only way they make money. So it's like, I understand it not being free, but I also understand the sentiment of that it really isn't worth any real money. So it's like I can understand both sides of the argument. And again, it's like, it's a simple change. So newer players, you're getting something that you're getting an option that day one players haven't had up until now. And this is a bundle. So I'll fire up the game a little bit later to kind of just look at what's going on as far as the pricing on this, because I don't have those numbers readily off the top of my head. If you guys know the price point on this bundle right here, feel free to drop it in chat. Craig, what's good, bro? I just saw your message this morning. I called it an early night yesterday. I was just kind of tired from running around getting stuff done. So I believe I was in bed probably like about 9, which is extremely early for me, especially on the weekday. But it helped me wake up. I was refreshed this morning. Got up around like 7ish, 6, 7ish. Played a little bit of Midnight Suns, which is, man, that game is fun. If you have the option to play that game and you are consciously skipping out on that, but you're a really big Marvel fan, I promise you're doing yourself a disservice, man. Like, the turn-based combat is fun, and it's not as simple as you may think, and the animations and the strategy to it keeps it from being as boring as you may be perceiving it to be. I don't think it's a great game to stream. Like, I don't think that's amazing to watch, from a viewer standpoint, which is why I decided to move away from streaming it. But I am planning to showcase more gameplay and things like that in the future. Side note, but yeah, it's like you have a lot of stuff about to hit the marketplace in the next few weeks. So if you've been watching some of the people who are in the creator Discord, they've been showing off this new Hawkeye Scan, which they have access to, which is going to be rolling out, which I have to believe maybe sometime next week or the week after that. There's also going to be a Christmas sale, of course, giving skins away for cheaper than usual. What's good, the Renaissance? What's good, Jab Cajun? How you guys doing? I don't know why I'm always ready to call you Jab Cancun. I don't know why I always read your name like that, but what's good, bro? I appreciate you being here. What's up, Albert? Mr. Fluffy, I see you here. Again, guys, if you're just popping in and you want to support for free, smash that like. It takes 2 seconds. But yeah, it's like they have a lot of really good skins in the pipeline, which, again, if Miller doesn't drop that article, you're on pace to make a lot of money with these skins, like just the ones I've shown you guys so far. So this one just hit the marketplace. This is a banger. This is a banger skin. I know some people are like, this doesn't look too different from the skin we got a couple months back from Iron Man, but it's like if you really pay attention to the details, it's a lot different. There's a little more going on here than you saw in that one. And you got this again. This simple, but there are people who genuinely wanted the option to run around with the mask and without the mask and things like that, and this gives them that. So there are people who see value in this as well as the bundle. So you would have made money, and then people have been asking for this. Like I've been waiting on this one. I've been waiting on a couple of Hawkeye skins, and it's like they have those all in their back pocket and they're ready to roll them out. And it would have been a lot better received if the news didn't come out that the sun is actually setting on Avengers allegedly, for 2023. And, that's not an early sunset. It's not going to, I believe the game will be around until late next year. But as of right now, it's like there is a finite, end to the game. And it's like, it's unfortunate if that's ultimately what proves to be the case, because there's still a ton of stuff they can do with this game as it is. You just will have to put the time in and actually strategize for what you want to do. And if you've been following my channel specifically, I've been very adamant about the need for a change to their monetization strategy. I understand the choice to move away from producing events like the War for Wakanda and operations in general, because there is no payoff for that. You're spending over a year developing things like that with elaborate cutscenes, character dialogue and interactions, villains, all of this stuff, and you're not seeing a return on that as an investor. So you invested, possibly millions of dollars to get this content made, and then you're not selling it. So when you give it away for free, you're not getting anything. People who are all about that kind of story and content, they play that for a week and then they're done, and then they don't even like the multiplayer side of things. So now they're not even around to buy stuff like skins that hit the marketplace, and they're just gone. Like you just completely lost all kind of value in both the customer and the content because you chose not to sell it, and the people who would have bought it otherwise don't interact with the game outside of that. So it's a terrible business strategy, but it's like I understand the intent behind it. You want players to be able to experience that and at no additional cost, but this is a business, and I don't think they fully understood that. Like players understand that, same with like the PS5 and things like that. It's like, yes, they weren't readily available for everyone on the market, but that doesn't mean you start giving away PS5s for free once you do, are able to meet demand a little more. No, you sell it because it costs to make it. This is a business. So selling your best content, you have your best product in this game is the story and the operations and then the heroes, and you're selling none of that. You're only selling, these skins, which again, the skins are good. They look great, but that's a fraction of the money you could be making with this game, this IP specifically. So it's like, I really hope if there is a genuine, what's up, AJ? Appreciate you coming through, man. Hope you having a good Friday, or even better, hopefully you already rolling out for that Christmas vacation, because I know you specifically have put in a ton of work this year. But yeah, it's like I really hope that if there is a genuine, opportunity to change things and, give Avengers a brighter future, I really hope changing the monetization strategy is a part of that, because selling the campaign at the very least, or the operations, and selling upcoming heroes or selling access to heroes to newer players, that just makes sense. They put a lot of time and energy and work into those forms of content, and you justifiably should be selling that. And on the plus side, the revenue that would be generated from stuff like that would open the door for more villains, more playable content, more expansion of the development team, because you can actually afford to do these things. It's not going to be easy, especially knowing that the engine, poses problems as far as onboarding. So, there's a huge learning curve with learning the foundation engine versus something like a more up to date engine like Unreal. And again, it's like all it is time and finding the right people. But if you're making enough money, you're afforded that time. But yeah, it's like he dumped out everything they have in the pipeline. And again, it's more simple changes. And again, if you don't have that Miller article looming over the game, this kind of stuff would do a lot better in the marketplace than it probably is doing right now, because people are intentionally withholding support of the game because they're questioning where that support goes. But you can't demonize them for something like that, because you have to factor in multiple things. Like, a lot of these people were burned by Marvel heroes, so they were, they believed they were supporting the future of that game by buying skins and characters and all of that stuff. And then the plug got pulled, and you no longer have access to any of that. You can't even turn that game on because it doesn't exist anymore. And it's like, now they have the memory of that installed in their head, and they're like, okay, I'm not doing that again with this. And it's like, I get that. That's 100% fair. And I mean, like I said, there's criticism I can make about that the Marvel Heroes crowd in general when it comes to this game specifically, because a lot of those people are like, hey, we don't want echoes, we don't want this, or just making a fuss about reused animations and characters in this game. And it's like, go look at Marvel Heroes. I didn't even really play that game, and you can tell it's very apparent that a lot of those characters are just reskins and just same animation, similar. There isn't a vast difference between a lot of those characters in that game, and people love that game. So it's like, ease up on this one, in general. But again, I understand the sentiment of, I don't want to be burned again. But, sticking on brand is like, yeah, these variations of bundles, I don't think it's a bad plan. Whether you want to buy it or not, it's up to you. What's up, NBA Dreams? But again, there are people who want to buy these skins, and there are newer players who would be amazed to see something like this on the marketplace and would be more than willing to support it. But now the word is spreading. People are intentionally spreading the word like, hey, do not support this game financially because it's going to stop, it's going to die, or they're not going to support it beyond 2023. So you're wasting money. And, most people just accept information at face value. So you're not thinking critically about this. You're not questioning the source of this person's information. You're not thinking of anything like that. You're just like, okay, well, I'm not going to waste my money on something like this, or let me be a little more strategic with my money. And again, that hurts the profitability of the game in general. So if they are genuinely trying to get more done financially with marketplace revenue, like that's funded by things like this and ideas like this, it's tough. It's like the game is in a really tough spot. Yeah, I'm glad you said that, AJ. Like, I'm telling you, AJ, change the monetization strategy. Go into the next meeting banging on the table, telling them, let's sell content. Let's sell the operations that we already made. Not even talking about future ones. The War for Wakanda can be sold to newer players right now. Go free to play and sell what you got right now. That's the plan. And then take a vacation. But yeah, it's like, these skins are clean, bro. Like, just the different shading and everything. And this one is supposed to have battle damage and everything. Like, this image isn't doing it justice, obviously. But they have definitely stepped up their game in terms of quality when it comes to skins, which understandably so, because again, this is the only thing they sell. This is the only thing in the entire game that you have the option to pay for. Their best content is free, which is, that is so crazy to me, bro. Like, just that bothers me on a level that you guys don't understand, because it makes no business sense. That makes no, like, that's basic business economics. Like, it just doesn't make a sense. It was a promise. I get you, man. I would rather have the promise of a future for the game. I would rather have the promise of more heroes being able to come to the game, because money is being made, so it's not a problem. There's not a strain on the game's economics because of a promise we made. Like I said, I appreciate the intent behind that promise, but as somebody who would enjoy having a game around beyond 2023, I think communication about the change of strategy in regards to that in regards to that promise would be 100% better received than simply just throwing it out there. So it's like, oh, you turn on the game one day and now you got to pay for things you didn't have to pay for a week ago. If you communicated ahead of time and like with marketing, branding, and just let people know like, hey, we want the game to be around. You want the game to be around. We know we told you guys this stuff would be free, but we're going free to play now because that would give you guys the best option or the best access to the game for free. You don't have to pay anything up front. But if you want to go back and play some of our older content, you do have to pay for that stuff because that again gives the game a future. So if you want the game to have a future, pay for what you get. And newer heroes will come at a price now because we have to sell what we're making. Like, this stuff takes a lot of time and work. There are people busting their ass to get this stuff out, and I know people ridicule it. I know people make fun of the glitches and the bugs and stuff like that, but if you're working, if you're doing work, bro, like, this is America, this is 2022. If you're doing work, you should be paid for the work. And it's like, I'm not complaining about it being free outside of the fact that I see value in it. You can sell it. We got Miller in the chat. They got people kick around that exact monetization concept before. A director was pushing for a transition to free to play with the campaigns being sold piecemeal back in like 2020. Bro, like, that's it. That's the only thing that makes sense. Like, you have to sell what you got. And shout out to Miller, the man of the hour. There is so much value in this IP. You have people hanging around this game that's been called dead and buggy and a mess and all of this stuff since launch. Still to this day, if they pull up a stream right now saying Doctor Strange is coming to Avengers, you'll have well over 1,000 people in there, and you'll have a ton of articles generated around that, a ton of hype generated around that, because people genuinely want to play this game. People genuinely want the most from this game. You got a ton of MCU projects coming up that's only going to create more hype for the game. It's crazy. Like, when people saw the synergy between the Jane Foster release and the release of Love and Thunder, it was crazy. And again, she's not even essentially much different from Thor. So imagine the hype if you had somebody like Ant-Man able to roll out along with his movie that's dropping next year. I know, and I'm not selling you guys that idea, because do not get that in your head. That is not happening. You're not getting Ant-Man by February of next year. It is not happening. I'm just simply saying, if that was announced, if something like that was announced this year, like, hey guys, right out, we just gave you Bucky, we're patching things like that, but in 2.8 that's coming this February alongside Ant-Man Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, you'll have a new hero, Ant-Man, coming to Marvel's Avengers, which you can play. The hype would be amazing, bro. Like, because people want that hero specifically, and you genuinely, like I said, it's just hype building on hype on hype. It is crazy. I wish it's like, that's the kind of potential people see for this game, and that's what's holding them around. That's what's been keeping them chained to this game for years, because that's the kind of potential they want to see taken advantage of. You got Kang the Conqueror, one of the most iconic villains in Marvel history, making his debut in Marvel. He's about to really come, full strength in Ant-Man and the Wasp. And it's like, oh, this summer, Kang the Conqueror is coming. We're already dealing with time rifts and stuff like that. So Monica's been playing with time in Avengers for like a year. Now you've got the notice of Kang the Conqueror. He's finna come play with some time. You get what I'm saying? Like, the hype around that would just be crazy. And you can sell that. Like, there's a ton of money that can be generated around that alone. What's up, Arian? And what's up on Shaquez? What's up, everybody who just popped in the chat? Appreciate you guys. Like I said, guys, you know the vibes. We talking Avengers over here and showing off, some of the cool stuff that's coming to the marketplace. Like, again, there are people who are, it's Avengers, so of course it's going to be a debate, both sides, both ways. And yes, people are like, hey, something like this, a simple change as simply taking the mask off a skin could be free. There's a way to offer that for free and things like that. And it's like, there's credibility there. But it probably took some work to do that. The skins in this game don't work as simple as we may think in a vision out here. So taking that mask off probably took a different amount of work than what you're thinking. So it's like, yeah, if you're going to charge for that and you have to see value in that, I get it. I just wish you did that with everything else in the game. I promise you, AJ, if you guys communicated why you have to change your business model, you would get more of an applause than what you may think. That would be better received than what you may think, because so many people have been saying just do this because they know that will open the door to the game actually having a future. So the people who may not have day one access to that content because they have to pay for it, but you still have the option to pay for it. You can still do what you guys do. You can discount it at different times of the year and things like that. You can do the rest of the things that come with business. So it's like, yeah, hey, it's a 4th of July sale on all content. So you can get the operations for half off. You can get heroes and challenge cards half off and all of that stuff. All that good, marketplace stuff that you guys already do it, just do it on a bigger scale. And I promise you, people would be very optimistic about it because they want the game to happen. They want a future where they get people like Captain Marvel, Falcon, Vision, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange. They want everybody. Anybody who is in Marvel, they'll take them. You get what I'm saying? The Shield janitor can hit the marketplace and they'll take it. And it's crazy. Like I would sacrifice Sadat the Gamer's channel for Avengers Future. And I'm only saying that because I just saw him pop up in chat. But what's good, Sadat? But yeah, it's like, bro, I'm telling you, like, people, anything less is a disservice to the game. That's how people view it. Everybody's combat kit will pop off in this game. That's the beauty of the design. Like, everybody would be great. All the skins that you guys have available would be amazing. Like, you know how many people was begging for this skin specifically? There was so much noise made about this specifically. People made so much fuss around the iconic design for Hawkeye, and especially after his first MCU suit, the Endgame suit where he was bald. People were pissed. And they demanded something like this in the pipeline for Hawkeye. And it took them a while, but now you're starting to see that stuff, actually is in the pipeline. They listened. They're in a position to deliver on that. And it's like, you could deliver so much more. Just sell it. Just sell everything. Just sell the whole house. Sell everything. But yeah, it's like, again, simple changes. Simple. That yes, people are going to buy it. But like I said, people are taking a stance against the game because of the article that came out and said, hey, Avengers doesn't really have a future beyond 2023. And now people are like, okay, well, I'm not getting burned again like I did with Marvel Heroes, so I'm withholding, support. I don't believe my money is supporting the future again. It's like, hey, I get it. I get it. And it's like, I just wish things was different. Like, this would have been an amazing Halloween skin. Like, if this could have hit the marketplace in time for Halloween, this is like, Cap Wolf, 2.0 essentially. It's like, this is a dope skin. The fact that they can even do something like this, nobody saw this coming, bro. Like, nobody saw them being able to do this. This isn't even in the pipeline. Like, there are so many skins they've brought to the game that most people wouldn't even consider. Most people don't even know the hell that this even exists. Like, Destroyer Armor Thor, when that hit the marketplace, that's not a skin I would have picked for Thor. Like, I didn't really even know that was a thing for him. So it's like, they're showcasing Marvel's history and pulling from different things in the comic books and everything like that in a very cool way. And it's like, that's only a fraction of, what they can actually monetize in this game. Like, and again, like, something like this should do extremely well in the marketplace, where now it might take a bit of a hit because, hey, people don't believe in the game's future anymore. Again, it's like all you're doing is changing, taking the helmet off. So you can run around with in-game Iron Man or Infinity War Iron Man, all of the Iron Man skins that you've paid for, at this point, you can just buy it again at a cheaper price without the helmet. Let's see. Like I said, Iron Man 2 is like, I there are people who are going to see value in that across the board. This, I know some people got extremely happy about this. The Iron Man Prime armor. When this, when they really do the marketing push for this, when they show the weekly, this as the weekly scan and all of that stuff, people are gonna go crazy. I just want War Machine added and I'm good. Reginald, bro, we here, man. Like we've been fighting for him, and it's like I really hope we can get War Machine, man. It's like I know people want She-Hulk, and it's like I know people want Captain Marvel, but it's like War Machine is doable. Like War Machine should be a little, it's just a little more doable right now, based on the way we've seen the previous two heroes design. So it's like cobbling together animations and attacks and everything for War Machine would be a lot that, like I said, it just seems feasible, and it's like I'll take it, bro. It's like I get the budget limitations and all of that stuff, and it's like I started the year off thinking like, okay, he's going to be holistically different than Iron Man, and it's like now, no, he might have a lot in common with a lot of people in Avengers, and it's like that's okay as long as his his core ranged attacks are different. So it's like his turret can function kind of like Bucky, the way he aims with his AR and all of that. What's good, Comic Geek? Appreciate you coming through, bro. But yeah, it's like stuff like that, and he has like a missile barrage similar to Hulkbuster and things like that, and his heroics and all of that can be a lot different. It's like I'll take it, bro. And it's like, again, I want She-Hulk too. I want Captain Marvel too. I want everybody. That's why I keep telling you guys, I don't care who they ultimately greenlight as the next hero, because I know they're going to be dope. I know the time and work is going to be put there to make them not just a reskin of anybody. There's going to be some time and effort put in there to make it something fun, new, and interesting. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, you don't have to reinvent the wheel every step of the way, is what I'm saying. I love the love Miller has for life. Yeah, bro. That's why I say, like, I know a lot of people villainize Miller, bro. Like, if you've hung out at his stream earlier this year when he was streaming every day, and if you just reach out to him just as a person, like he's more than Avengers leaks and news and stuff like that. Like he's a genuinely cool dude. Like I give everybody in this community the benefit of the doubt with that. Even if you're an asshole, like even if you post nothing but snarky or just overly critical nonsense every day, I would give you the benefit of the doubt. Like if we actually got to know you, you probably a little more than that. And it's like, just that's why I say, like, choose positive interactions with people, because I promise you, instead of going full force blasting off at that developer whose Twitter tag on Twitter about this game, instead of blasting off at them about Doctor Strange not being in the game, make that a positive interaction. You might get a lot more out of that interaction than even you were thinking. Just putting that out there, just and not just for this game, any game. Like, you can, if you have the opportunity to talk to these people, if you have the opportunity to interact with them, make it positive. You'll get a lot more out of that than that brief blast off about what you want not being in this game already, because they're just going to shut that down and leave it alone. Like, you're showing them there's nothing there. There's nothing to interact with there. There's no positivity there, and most people are just going to put a wall between you and them, and you don't want that. I'm telling you, you don't want that. Give people the benefit of the doubt, even if they're not always showing their best foot. Even if they're not showing their best face at every moment, they're human beings. Give them a pass if possible. Like I said, I'm not just saying like just ignore problematic behavior across the board or anything like that, but people can get frustrated. People have bad days. Stuff like that is what I'm saying. But it's like, yeah, it's like it's crazy, bro. It's crazy that in 2022 they have stuff like this in the pipeline. They still, you just got a character for free, bro. Like, you just got the Winter Soldier for free. And it's like, I wish we could just kind of just marry those two concepts, like amazing content that you actually sell to make your game have a brighter future, that makes the game make sense behind the scenes and outside the scenes. You get what I'm saying? It's like, it's just a few, nudges on a few tweaks to the knob, and we could be somewhere completely different. What's up, Captain bro? I just peeped you in the chat. It's like, yeah, this is the skin that people were saying like isn't too different from the skin that just hit the marketplace yesterday. But it's like if you pay attention to the details, it's like they made some tweaks and changes, and again the color, the color and everything is a little different. So again, he didn't reinvent the wheel. He just made what he had a little cooler in different places and stuff like that. And the skin that just came yesterday is the skin that he puts on at the end of the armor that he puts on at the end of Avengers when the invasion starts. So when the Chitauri start invading, Iron Man gets his new armor as he's falling out of the tower after fighting with Loki, and then he goes immediately, like he's the first person on scene, dealing with that invasion. Push for CD to hire casual. Hey, bro, like I said, I'm out here where I can just, this is free consultation if you need it. But again, if you heard Miller early in the stream, I'm not the only person, I'm not the first person to, suggest that the game, or the team behind the game change their monetization strategy. It just makes businesses. That's the most logical conclusion anybody can come to. But it's like, yeah, he showed off a ton of stuff for the game, and as always, people got excited about the stuff that he shared. Everybody is excited about stuff for this game. This game that everybody pretends like they hate. The game that, I haven't played that game in forever, but we talk about it every week. And I keep up with every bit of Avengers news and all of that stuff. People love this game, bro. People love it. Everything about this game to a degree. Do they wish the missions were a little different? Yes. Do they wish they had more heroes? Yes. Do they wish they had more villains? Yes. But as the game is, if there was no fun to be had, none of us would be here right now. Nobody would be covering this right now. Who was that? I think, was it CBR? Somebody just embarrassed themselves yesterday talking about Miller showing the new Hawkeye skin, Birdman fighting Maestro, and they thought Maestro was new content. They thought CBR, okay, so it was CBR. They jumped at the chance thinking they really had some hot access. Oh, Maestro is leaked. Nobody's embarrassing themselves like that for something else. You get what I'm saying? Nobody. Why in 2022, heading into 2023, are we still doing stuff like that? Why is Miller still in such demand that anything he tweets about this game is just like, we didn't even research. 2 seconds of research could have saved you that embarrassment. But it was so hot because it came from Miller, and it's about Avengers in 2022. That dead game that nobody cares about. People still play that game. Oh my God, they need to just shut it down. But any sign of news, any little mention of Avengers, especially from a credible source like Forbes or Miller, we're rushing, we're tripping over ourselves to embarrass ourselves, trying to be the first person sharing some information about that. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. And it's like, again, everything he shared, like, look at this. Look at this. This is everything people have been complaining about. People have been complaining about her hair specifically for the longest. And it's like, this is what they heard that feedback. They're trying, at least when it comes to skins and things like that, to kind of meet you in the middle. So yes, if you could have did something like this for her MCU skin, yes, you would have heard a lot less complaining, but even then, you'll still get some complaining. Like I always say. Missing score with the super chat. I really thank you for your articulate perspective on this game every week. Good or bad, you always honest. That's all I can do, bro. Like, I can just be honest with you guys about my thoughts. So if I don't agree with something, I'll let you know as always. But if I feel like they're being, unfairly judged, or something that's really good is being overlooked, in favor of a narrative or something like that, it's like I just, again, that's why I started the channel, just to be a part of the conversation, because so much of the conversation was unnecessarily negative. That's pretty much all. I like the game, and I'm a fair person by nature, so it's like, I just want to, even if that's not the overwhelming, narrative over with the conversation of the game, because again, I'm not going to change the tide of the game. Like, nothing I say day in or day out is going to change the general perception around this game. Marketing will have to do that. Branding for Marvel's Avengers will have to do that. Me over here on YouTube with a couple hundred people every other week can't do that. But it's like, again, it's like, give them credit. I know Jay Shark Blast was making fun of the foot, and thank you again, Missing Score, for the super chat. But it's like, yeah, bro, like this is cool, bro. Like there's nothing else you can say about it. This cool. This dress like this, dress like a maiden, running around shooting people with arrows, doing flip tricks with arrows and stuff like that. You cannot do that in any other game, bro. And people know that. People know that. They get that. And it's like, it's crazy, man. Like this simple skin, that people have asked for. I've seen people personally asking for this. They want these skins. They want every Iron Man skin. From Mark 1 to Mark 78 and beyond, they want all of those skins. And then we want the ones from the comics too. And it's like, all you got to do is be around to give it to them. This is easy money. This is easy money that you can make every week. You feel what I'm saying? This should be in a bundle, which I'm pretty sure it will be. Like, I don't see that being the main skin. Like, so it probably will be in a bundle. So it's like, I can see you having the option to do this. The Mark III, the Mark II, and the maskless or the Mark III without the helmet and all of that. But it's like, look at this. Look at this. Nobody saw this coming a year ago. What's up, Vape? How you doing, bro? Hope the workday is treating you well. Hope it's Friday. Hope some of those good Friday vibes is coming at you. But it's like, bro, just appreciate what you got while you got it. And like I said, hopefully some changes can be made behind the scenes to just get a game give them another year to figure things out. You get what I'm saying? Just try something new. We've tried the promise of free content for going on 3 years. And that's been great. People will show up as always for new content and new heroes, but selling that content might allow that stuff to show up a little more often. You get what I'm saying? Let's just try it. We for the sake of experiment, let's just try free to play and selling the major content we've already put years of work into. So that giant operation in Wakanda that introduced a new hero, a new biome, and 2 new villains, let's sell that. Let's put a price point on that. Let's see how that performs on the free to play market. Let's go there. Watching casual in my underwear. That's the thing, it's too much information to that. That's a bit much. That's a bit much. We didn't need that visual. The do-rag is all we need. All we need is to know you got the do-rag on. That's all we need from you. But it's like, bro, feed out for AJ. Hey. But yeah, it's like, bro, simple changes. Like, if you seen my game, like if you seen me open up my skin menu for Thor, I got everything. I like with this. It's probably like maybe like 6 or more skins for him I don't have, and those were essentially like recolors or just like something about it just didn't grab me as like a must have. So if it's a sale or something, I'll grab it. But something like this. Like, I grabbed this the day it came out. I grabbed this the day that it came out because, Thor was my main and, it's a dope skin. And it's like, now you get that same skin without the helmet, which a lot of people wanted. A lot of people didn't like the helmet. They were like, hey, the helmet is cool. I get it. But, hey, Patriotic Pigeon, love the name, and thank you for becoming an Avenger. And again, for everybody who's just hopping in, smash the like button. Do me a favor, it's 100% free and it definitely helps support the channel. And give a shout out to AJ, one of the hardest working developers that's one of the last of a dying breed, man. Like that dude he helped get this game from launch to here. Like everything the game is, he's had a hand in doing that in some way. So it's like, give him credit for still fighting, to give us content in this game. But yeah, it's like you got maskless, Captain America coming up. It's like they got a ton of stuff in the pipeline, and this isn't everything. Like there's a Hulk skin that Miller shared, the Star brand Hulk that he shared. There's another skin, another comic skin for Hawkeye that he shared. And it's like, it's crazy, man. But let me see. Let me pull up one more thing because this was the other big thing I wanted to talk about. But yeah, it's like they just dropped this news yesterday. They announced that they are partnering with Amazon Game Studio to bring Tomb Raider. So Amazon and Crystal Dynamics are partnering up for the new Tomb Raider series. That's big, bro. Like that's, I'm telling you, if you don't know anything about Crystal Dynamics beyond Avengers, it's like, get in tune. This name right here, these two words, that means a lot to Crystal Dynamics. Like this is what they're known for outside of the criticism that came with the Avengers game. Like this is what they're known for. Like this is the real child. Avengers is like the stepchild in that house. You get what I'm saying? Like this is the pride and joy over here. And it's like, let's just breathe this. We are excited to announce that Crystal Dynamics is partnering with Amazon Game Studios on the next major entry in the Tomb Raider series, which will continue Lara Croft's saga in a single-player, story-driven, multi-platform adventure. Amazon Games will support and publish globally. So Amazon Games is publishing Tomb Raider for Crystal Dynamics. That's big, bro. Like that is majorly big. But of course, because it's Crystal Dynamics and they are behind the Avengers, there has to be a negative spin on that. There's a negative narrative going around behind that, which of course is everything that you're getting for skins is now going to fund in this. So those new skins that are coming, that money is going to fund Tomb Raider since Avengers is dying. And it's like, you can combat that with just communication. As of right now, there are no plans to discontinue Marvel's Avengers. That's it. Outside of publishers are scary, to be honest, because didn't Netflix just axe a bunch of games behind the scenes? That's true. And as you saw with, Square Enix and stuff like that, it's like all publishers are not created equal. So it's not like this is a match made in heaven, but that is a big partnership. That is a big team up, especially for their biggest, IP outside of Avengers. Like, how do I say that? Because it's like Avengers has a much broader market than Tomb Raider, but Tomb Raider is an IP that they own, so they don't have to pay to license that. And again, it's like it's a difference. There's a bit of a difference there. But yeah, it's like that's the perception now. Don't spend money on Avengers because that's going to be used to fund this. And it's like, I know their policy may be to just not address those kind of rumors and things like that, but it's like I feel like that's going to do more harm than good with something like this. Jay Colazzo with the sub, thank you for becoming an Avenger. And it's like, just address that. So again, that's not saying there's no wiggle room for Avengers to cease development later in 2023 or anything like that, but simply coming out saying, hey, as of right now, there is no plans to discontinue support on Avengers. That gives the people who want to support your game financially the incentive to continue doing so. Now they have something to combat the narrative of, oh, this game is dying and these new skins are just a cash grab. Now you can combat that. Now you have something to fight that with because you have an official statement from the developer themselves saying, hey, that's not necessarily the case here. And Miller can still stand on what he says. So he's like, hey, what I heard is still the case, and we'll just have to let time, tell the truth on that, as he's done with other things. So it's like it's no salt on him, it's no shade on him. It's like he actually would prefer you do something like that because it just makes business sense. Jay Shock Blast here with the hatred. Well, hopefully you got pants on, unlike Sadat, man. Sadat is coming here with the pantsless hate, and nobody wants that. So at least have your pants on, Jay. What's up, Rage Def? How you doing? But yeah, it's like, I wish they would. I would just like I said, just from a business standpoint. So it's like you can lie and tell the truth to a degree. So just because you say there are currently no plans to shut down Avengers, it's like that could be true because it's not in writing. It's not definitive just yet. So while there are talks, you know what I'm saying, but there's no hardcore plan to shut down Avengers. So what you're saying is essentially a lie, and the game is still going to be running for the next few months. So it's like, hey, if something changed, you're going to have to put out another statement anyway. But in the short term, there is no campaign against defunding your game. Nobody's withholding funds from your game in the short term because, as you can see, like there's a lot of stuff coming to the marketplace, bro. Like these are a lot of bundles, a lot of skins. That like these, this is a couple weeks of content. Oh, not content, but skins, marketplace. Items. Like that's a lot. There's a lot of stuff to be coming out, and it's like, to have just like a whole campaign dedicated towards not giving you money because of stuff they heard behind the scenes is like, that's rough. What's up, Barry Allen? So it's like I said, stuff like that, would really have to come from communication from the studio and branding with the studio to change that narrative. I like me having a balanced opinion of things. That does nothing for them ultimately, outside of keeping a few people around who are already going to be around. So even if I never showed up, those people who want to keep supporting the game, they're just here. They're just going to be a little discouraged by the overwhelmingly negative narrative around the game, but they're still going to be there. LeJune says the skin are the content. That's why they give it to you, June. That's why they give it to you in the Discord. They giving y'all that high content. But yeah, bro, it's like I'm really like, whatever I get up here and say is a drop in the bucket for him. Like that literally does nothing. I'm saving nothing and nobody. Like I'm screaming into the void over here. All I'm saying is sell what you got going on. Will we ever get She-Hulk? Like I said, one, I'm not on the inside. You have to talk to somebody like LeJune, who's LeJune just recently told everybody Doctor Strange was coming out, which I'm assuming he got that information from the super secret Discord, even more secret than the Discord he's already in. But yeah, it's like people like that have those kind of answers. I don't have any insight into what's going on with She-Hulk outside of the fact that you have two sources of information with two different narratives going on behind that. So one unofficial source with a ton of credibility to his name said, hey, there has been work on She-Hulk. He's outed the voice actress and all of that good stuff. And, as of now, we don't know what those things, what's going on that front. But as far as official news, all they've maintained is that they have made no statements in regards to She-Hulk being a thing, which they haven't. So outside sources, she's been worked on to a degree, but as of right now, it's unclear if there's any plans to ship her. And official sources maintain we have nothing to say about She-Hulk because we have never made an announcement of She-Hulk coming to this game. So with that information, you're caught up and you are free to draw your own conclusion. So it's like, will we get a She-Hulk in Marvel's Avengers in 2023 or something like that? We do not know. If you're leaning towards what you got from Miller's article, probably not. If you're listening to the game officially, who have made no inclination that things are shutting down or stopping anytime soon, then maybe. But that's pretty much where you're at with it. But yeah, it's like we can actually hop into the game for a bit. Let me see. It's still pretty early, so it's like I'll try to help you guys out today if I can. Maybe later towards the stream. With I know a lot of people are still probably trying to get raids and stuff done for like Winter Soldier, but yeah, it's like you have the game still has a ton of potential in it. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, minor tweaks and changes can turn things around in a big way. And that's one of the words you'll constantly hear associated with this game is potential. Potential. And it's like, hey, can you tell somebody to make the missions like the iconic ones stay on the war table after you complete them? I have one even better for you, AJ. Make the iconic missions the standard for new heroes coming to the game. Like I know the mission chains are cool because it's like that's budget friendly, but if we change the strategy a little bit, like if there's a change to the marketplace, as far as like selling content beyond skins,
Avenger!
you can use some of that funding. What's up, True Groovy? Thank you for becoming an Avenger. You can use some of that funding to, make smaller operation style campaigns that are essentially just iconic missions. So you got one or two missions, a couple cutscenes, a villain, and that's it. That's the norm. So it doesn't take the same amount of work to deliver that as an operation. I would assume, but you're still getting a fair amount of quality from that. The cutscenes and iconic missions are a little better than what you got with the like No Rest for the Wicked and what's that Cloning Lab. What's good, Derek? How you feeling, bro? Hey, I just started playing Avengers. Could you show a level to level up quick? Yeah, I got you. I can show you that. But yeah, bro, like they have been dropping like banger after banger on this marketplace. So again, it's like the bundle. I don't know how much this bundle is because I already have the original Captain America with the helmet on and everything. But if you already have that suit like me, you only pay $500, and if you want this suit individually, it's $1,400. So it's like, again, it's like I understand people who are like, hey, well, you just took the mask off, I shouldn't have to pay that much. But again, we don't know how much work, so they value it at 500 credits for a reason. And if you want to buy it as a unique skin, it's $1,400 because I based on what I've heard about how the game is designed, this pretty much is a new mesh. Like this is a individual mesh, so it's like I get it, but I also get not getting that from the outside as somebody who's not like overly familiar with development and things like that. So it's like at face value, it just looks like you took the mask off and you're charging me the same amount of money. So it's like I get that, and it's not much there they will do or can do, I think, about communicating around that. But it's like, yeah, so it is what it is, I guess. But like, yeah, you got this hit in the marketplace, and it's like they just made some tweaks to the design a little bit. So it's like you got some silver and gold in there that you initially didn't have, and it's like it's a cool aesthetic. People, like I said, people have been waiting for this. So it's like I know people have grabbed this, but I know a lot of people are intentionally taking a stand against funding the game financially because of the stuff that's come out with Miller's article. But it's like, yeah, like stuff like this is dope. Or like after seeing this, people want to see the whole team in cell shaded. They want to see cell shaded designs for everybody. What's up, GI Skills? How you doing? Let me see. What? I wonder when would they add newer takedowns, because I remember Cap had one that would happen randomly from the Winter Soldier movie. Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about that, like he does a finishing spin kick. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I assume that one was coming to the marketplace at some point too. Wait, that's something different. But yeah, it's like if you check out the bundles, which I know most people probably don't even venture in here. But it's like, yeah, a lot of the skins that you may not see outside of this, like they're in here. So it's like, the Federation skins is like nothing, really grabbed me. I know a couple people grabbed this one primarily for the shield. Like anything they do different with that shield, people, key in on that and they grab that instantly. But it's like, yeah, like, most of the stuff just didn't really appeal to me. So it's like this bundle wasn't for me specifically. But like I said, I know people, either picked up these skins individually when they were available on the marketplace, or they're picking it up now. One sec. But yeah, it's like, and this, like I said, they got a ton of bundles for varying prices. So it's like you got the new Spooktacular bundle, you got Cap Wolf, You got this cool new Iron Man Magic modified. You got Gladiator cap. With again, that shield is the main motivator for why people pick that up. But it's like, look at what they've been doing with these skins, bro. Like a lot of stuff that most people didn't even think was a thing. But it's just like you can sell so much more than this. Like looking at this stuff, like okay, if you're like even if they go free to play the campaign, you probably shouldn't sell the campaign, I guess. But this you can easily sell that. You can easily sell this. These are 3 campaigns slash operations you can sell right now that would do well. War for Wakanda should arguably cost a little more than stuff like this. But again, it's like I don't know the price point on something like this. So if you are selling, Taking Aim, Future Imperfect, and War for Wakanda, how much are you guys willing to pay for something like this? Like if you were completely new to the game, you picked it up free to play, what's a fair price for these operations? Knowing what, keep in mind, you know exactly what these operations consist of. You know exactly what's being offered in these operations. $10 to $15, $5, $15 to $20. Ask them to finish and implement the Stark Tech suit loading screen now that they've abandoned putting new characters into it anyways. The old price getting kicked around for a reassemble was $10. That sounds fair. Like, just I'm begging you guys, AJ. I'm begging you, man. I come back from the holiday break with the spirit of giving, and go into those meetings and tell them like we really need to sell this stuff. I know we had a promise, but it's like promises change. Like we delivered on that promise. Actually, we delivered on that promise for 2 years. We gave them 2 years of that promise. Now we're going into a new day. We're going into a new year, and we might need to look at things a little different because there is a market for people who are still to this day demanding an Avengers 2. So buy yourself 2 years. 1 year just to get the stuff that you want to sell, and deliver new content. Get that stuff in development this year that won't be coming until maybe 2024. And in 2024, focus on reworks, do smaller changes, offer the game for free, sell what's already available while offering marginal things that you can. So it's like throw in a War Machine. Just throwing that out there. Throw in a War Machine, a budget hero who doesn't take as much work as somebody like Doctor Strange and Captain Marvel. But towards the end of 2023, you can start selling the idea of the Kree invasion coming 2024. We've done the work. The Kree invasion is coming. Captain Marvel is going to need help. What other heroes are coming with Captain Marvel? Because we're selling this. We're selling this stuff now. We're selling campaigns. We're selling operations. We're selling heroes. So we got more money coming in, and that shows your publisher that this is still a cash cow. Like there's money to be made, and then you couple that with dropping these bangers, bro. Like keep selling skins like this. Let's get a whole cell shaded team set in the marketplace. This is a hell of a bundle this is the kind of stuff that the whales show up for. Like this is how you bait the whales out. I'm telling you that changes everything. And then after 2024, now that people are a little more optimistic about the future of the game and all of this stuff, and there's actual demand for more, and they trust the team with doing more with this content, because hopefully you still got patrol mode in your back pocket. Hopefully that comes back at some point. And you open the door for an Avengers 2. There's actually a selling point for an Avengers 2 at that point. Bigger engine, bigger heroes, all of this stuff. All of the stuff that people wanted day one for this game. So maybe we can change the way skins are set up. So you can, mix and match things with skins. So you can take an Iron Man helmet from one skin, put it on another skin. Or you can change Black Widow's guns and stuff like that. What's up, Winter Soldier, bro? I shouted you out at the top of the stream. I didn't know if you were still here, but I appreciate you, hanging around, commenting like probably like 4, 5 in the morning. I was just getting up around that time, so I wasn't sure if I missed you, but I appreciate you coming through as always. Remember that time Jay made a video advocating moving towards Avengers 2? But it's still a lot of work to be done before you get to Avengers 2. Because if you announce Avengers 2, it's going to be met with hella criticism and negativity that's still surrounding Avengers that we have right now. So you got to do the work before you get to Avengers 2. Every game you saw to have a turnaround, they had to do some work before we got there. Before people were receptive to the turnaround, you had to do some work to get there. So do the work. Do the groundwork first, and we can go. And if you want somebody to go hard for you, go hard with the people in that created Discord, implement some new strategies for marketing and stuff like that. Let's loosen up a lot of the negativity and just really go all in on this. And change your relationship with Miller. Do that. Because that article, that was an uppercut nobody saw coming. You don't want any more uppercuts. Have a separate conversation with Miller. Let's talk to Miller. Let's see what we can do to stop uppercuts coming our way when we're trying to change the negative perception of our game. We don't need uppercuts from Miller outside. Let's send Miller a bottle of flowers or something like that and like, hey, Mr. Miller, let's talk. Let's have a different kind of conversation. If I had any affiliation with marketing, branding, economics, all of that stuff, I would be throwing all of these on the table because this is stuff we can do right now that changes the future for Avengers. Like that changes everything. These are things that can change the future of Avengers right now. So you can communicate selling content right now at no additional cost. That doesn't take an influx of resources to say we're going to sell what we already have right now. I just made you money without costing you a dime. Outside, unless you have to pay the person who has to do the blog to communicate that. So I cost you what you were already going to pay that person anyway, I guess. But yes, change your marketing, change your branding, and just go all in on what you got. And that green light's what you don't have already in development. So maybe when you do get ready to do somebody like War Machine, you can afford a few new bells and whistles that you might not be able to afford right now. And in the meantime, you can placate people with, hey, another one. What's that thing we got? That villain we have in the game that nobody can fight outside of Wakanda? Crossbones. Throw Crossbones somewhere. I got the perfect place to throw them too. This also makes the same content more playable. You go over here, this place that most people don't like to come, throw Crossbones in there. Throw them in there. Just throw them in there. When you get to the end of that mission, you got Crossbones in there. And he might show up other places. Let's throw Crossbones some places. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Crossbones, what is it? This mission right here. So I'm going to just hop in here just to show you guys the layout. Because this also another conversation I want to have. I would pay to see AJ sitting in a meeting showing casual Avenger clips explaining why they need to sell DLCs. Do it. Feel free. Just share my rants with the studio. Like, we have somebody passionate and ranting in a positive way about what we need to do with this game. Just don't even announce it. Just come into the meeting and just cue it up. Let the confusion sit in for a minute. They'll figure it out. They'll figure out what's going on. Don't even give them context. Just go in and press play. Like, all right, everybody, check this out. And just press play. And tell them to make sure they leave a like while they're there. Share my hate rants for contrast. Hey, but it's like like I said, I trust the team to do, you like I said, you guys, like I said, AJ, you know I get it, bro. You know I know it's way more complex than it seems out here. Like, I get that, but even as it is right now, it can be a little better, a little different with a couple tweaks and changes. So yeah, like, we talk about patrol mode, and I know like a lot of people first mind go to the Eastern Seaboard, like, let us run around New York. But it's like this would actually be a great area for like a small patrol. So you can have an encounter here. Somebody's probably loading up trucks with stuff. You got to stop that stuff from going on, something like that. You got, other spots over here. I didn't know you couldn't swing up here or go on this roof. Didn't know that. I haven't flown around here in a while. But it's like, yeah, so it's a ton of stuff going on all over this area right here. Look at these people. They ready. They ready. I'm trying to showcase something. I'm in the middle of a stream. But, they don't care about that. But yeah, it's like this is a decent amount of space. There's a fair amount of space here. So it's like there's a lot of room for encounters over here that, a lot of people might not be aware of. So like, maybe you can have like a police barricade or something over here, and mercenaries, the Taskmaster mercenaries are over there attacking. You knock out that encounter, you get what I'm saying? You take care of the enemies, Taskmaster shows up. I know Brian spoke about not wanting to have villains we fought previously in Patrol, but it's like, bro, it's Patrol mode. Throw everybody in there. Don't barricade or bar anyone from that. Just throw them all in there. And like I said, it makes sense. So fighting Taskmaster and his mercenaries in somewhere like this is like that works for me. And again, if you disagree, feel free to share it in the comments. As always, it's a conversation. But it's like, yeah, it's like you got streets. This is a residential area to a degree. So if you could throw in a couple civilians here and there, but it's like, yeah, there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of potential here. Is ultimately what I'm saying. So throw Taskmaster somewhere around here, like anywhere in here, like Taskmaster and mercenaries are showing up. What is that? A Adaptoid? Okay. But yeah, it's like you got a shield vault down here on this area, as well as like it's a lot going on. Like I know most people probably don't. Well, I think this is the priority mission. I don't know if it's today's priority mission, but most people probably don't even come in here anymore. Like most people don't frequent these kind of missions or anything anymore. But it's like look back here, like it's a lot of stuff back here, brother. Like this area has more space than what you may think. We just need to fight Hydra and Ultron robots. Like, let's fight everybody, anybody but AIM at this point. All right, we're all aimed out. Like that's it for AIM, man. Like take 5. Brownstone with the membership. Thank you for becoming an Avenger, a member. Thank you so much, bro. Like I said, I'm just showing you guys like there's potential for all kind of stuff in the game as it is right now. So setting up boss encounters in this game as it is right now is it just seems to make sense. Like we fight them in villain sectors and we fight them in OLTs and raids, but it's like they should be able to appear outside of that. Like a random villain encounter, anywhere should be possible. Or it sounds good on paper. So it's like you came in here for the priority mission. You were expecting to go through, the routine, like you go through the objectives and, so on and so forth. But there's a chance for a random villain encounter. And if you defeat the villain, you get, an exotic reward. So you got a chance to get an exotic in any mission where villains can spawn randomly. Like that's a cool concept. And that makes all of your missions, for the most part, more valuable. So where you would typically just go in there for an ISO, hey, that villain encounter changes everything. So yeah, it's like, this is what I'm talking about. You have the police, barricade set up over here. We have a similar mission to that. Like, let me go out of this. They actually have a mission with that element already present. Something like Midnight Suns. June, I was just on Midnight Suns this morning, bro. Like, the more I play it, the more I'm getting pulled in there. Like, I just unlocked the little portal where you can go train your hero. Like, you can train each one of your heroes individually. You got to go fight the little demons and stuff like that. That's a game changer. Like, I'm about to get everybody up to max level using that every day. Because at first I just been using the sparring and taking them on missions and stuff like that, and hero ops and all of that. Where is it? I think it's Heart of a Monster. Do I not have that anymore? That's tough. That's tough. I did complete that mission. Like condition green and all of that stuff. I feel like it was still on my map even after I completed it though. But it was in Utah, so I can't actually show you that right now. Unless I get it in a flashback or something. Do the do give me Heart of Monster back? Yeah. But it's like, yeah, do those missions show up offline? So yeah, like I got the flashback for Global Presence. All right. So yeah, I mean they appear in flashbacks every now and then, but give me Heart of the Monster back. Who I forgot who was that asked for a great mission for leveling up. If you still have Up from the Depths, this is a great mission to level up. But if you don't, you can also use this mission in the Eastern Seaboard. So go to this, set it on difficulty challenge 4, and then once you get past the elevator, once you make it to the first floor, defeat all the enemies, including the Dreadbot, and then reload the checkpoint. And that's another great way to level up. And then for Up from the Depths, what you want to do is once you start the mission, you want to go over, defeat the Super Adaptoid, and reload checkpoint. You'll get XP for doing that, and every time you reload checkpoint, the enemy will respawn. That's a quick way to get XP as well. But I guess we can pop into this one. I'll show you guys the Eastern Seaboard. Like, this is where most people think of when they think of patrol mode. Like, this is what they want. But don't sleep on Utah. Like I said, Utah has some potential over there. And if I had the mission still, I would be able to show you Up from the Depths. I mean, not Up from the Depths. Like Condition Green, I think, or Heart of the Monster. I forgot which one it is. If you still got access to that mission, we can link up so you can help me show that off real quick. So if you still got that, let me know in the chat. And if you're willing to play, or just hop on for a minute. Like, you can run around and do stuff in the mission if you want. I'm really just trying to showcase one specific encounter. To go inside my point about patrol mode. Sadat still got me? Alright, so let me stay on standby, Sadat. Find you some pans and get ready to get beamed up. I got you. But it's like, yeah, like these areas, one, have a lot more detail to them than, what people give the game credit for. Yeah, don't need that. Alright, break, bro. I'm so salty. I gotta completely rework my build for Iron Man. Like, I had some stuff. Like, it's still viable, but it's like I had some critical pieces that I no longer have because I messed up my save. But it's like, and Richard Lewis, this for you, bro. Whenever, if you're in chat, I got something just for you. We heading over there now. But yeah, like this whole area is, my point is, this whole area, this would be great for a patrol mode. In addition to everything else in the, once you go into the actual city. But this harbor or port, this, you can have some encounters and things going off over here. But on the side note, this place over here, anybody recognize that? Does anybody know what this building is outside of AIM building? Because that's clearly what it is now. Does anybody know what this building used to be? Empire State. Vaping Gamers with the correct answer. I was just kidding. So this is Avengers Tower. Like, if you peep the little helipad back there and all of that, there is so much of a demand for this to be a mission where the Avengers go in there and fight their way to the top and take over that building. I promise you, that's not how that, like, AIM owns that building, so the Avengers will probably be arrested for doing that way. Like I keep saying, that the fight for Avengers Tower would really have to take place in court, and that would be a great way to introduce She-Hulk. She can show up in court, for Iron Man, giving him fighting to get the rights back to the Avengers Tower, and that's a new location and all of that stuff. But for the sake of fun, yes, it would be great to go in here and fight AIM to get this tower back. So it's like, AIM, they should be outside the law as well. So it's like the Avengers beating them up to take their tower back. And, that's just their new base of operations. It's like, that would be fine. Who cares, man? If Monica and AIM can get away with murder, why can't the Avengers? Forget She-Hulk would be a great way to introduce Matt Murdock. That's true. But people don't want him affiliated with She-Hulk, apparently. So I don't know if that's a great way for her to introduce him. I would take him. I'd take him in a heartbeat. That's another thing that, it's like that's not something that would probably be on the table right away because, again, there's still so many Avengers specific characters that people want to see, like War Machine, Falcon, and Captain Marvel and Vision. But other heroes like hero events in general, I feel like should be specified for Avengers adjacent characters like Wolverine and Daredevil and like a Luke Cage or somebody like that. So there's like they're not core Avengers, but they have ran with the Avengers. So if you ran with the Avengers, you come in a hero event, and the people who are known for being Avengers like War Machine and Captain Marvel, you get hero missions. I know we're not doing operations right now, so an iconic mission. You get what I'm saying? Like you get those, and then people like Wolverine, you get a small hero chain, as an event. How about Jack of Hearts? I'll take it. But yeah, it's like This is another great area for patrol. So it's like I know why people demanded. Like I know when people heard the wasteland was going to be the area we're patrolling, it's like why would anybody want that because one, you're essentially thinking like it's nothing out there. So it's like you literally roaming around doing nothing essentially. And of course it's that's not what's going to be going on, obviously, but I understand the sentiment, but yeah, it's like you got a lot going on here. You got a couple streets to explore. Yeah, I just found out recently too. A lot of people don't run with the Iron Man boosters. Like they just kind of fly like this the whole time. I thought adding boosters was a must. Like there's no way in the world I can traverse these maps with Iron Man just flying like this the whole time. I got to get where I'm going. But yeah, it's like it's a ton of potential in the areas like this for villain encounters. Save the civilian, protect the artifact or something like that. Stop them from destroying something. Maybe you gotta hack something. You get what I'm saying? Like the little stuff we already do in Avengers is like you can just do that stuff here in just random encounters and stuff. And it's like I know that's a lot more complex logistically than what we're than mentioning outside here, but that's what people want the thought process to be ultimately. But again, it's like that's when I fly around here, it's like all I see is potential. Like man, like if people were actually running around, so like AIM is here and attacking people, but there's people actually running around scared. So AIM bots are blowing up cars or something like that, and civilians are reacting to that, which is what draws the Avengers' attention over there. Jarvis comes in, Avengers, civilians are being attacked over here, and now you see all these enemies pop up, and you make your way over there. You get what I'm saying? It's like simple stuff like that. But I'm gonna hop out of here. Sadat, if you got the game fired up, we can run that Heart of the Monster or whichever one it is. I always forget which one it is. Yeah, you can just jump in the strike team. I'll go online so you can find me. But going back to the conversation about the new skin bundles and everything like that, do you guys think that's just something that they came up with because it just makes sense, and because essentially these new skins aren't holistically new, so it makes sense to just bundle them with everything else that's already, or to bundle them with the version that was already sold, or do you think this is a strategy to generate more revenue, like bigger bundles, more bundles, to generate more revenue with the monetization strategy that you already have? All right. Yeah, so that you can just fire the mission up and everything. I'm rolling with you. And I see you rocking that 175 Winter Soldier. Let me. Yeah, it's a great deal. I think it's great. The random crimes like from Spider-Man 2 would be cool. Agreed. He's way too weak playing on melee. Who's weak? When I first started playing this game a year ago, I made Iron Man melee based. Now I have to correct that mistake. I mean, actually, it might still be viable. And what's up, T'Challa and Dread? Right now I'm just hanging out. If I get a strike team going up, I got you. Ready up. But half price skins plus sell the content. Yeah, I'm like I said, it's interesting, that they started to do that now. But again, it takes time to get those skins, developed and everything. So it's like we're at that point now because the skins are finished. So it's like we can start actually rolling those out. So they probably intended to bundle them up and everything initially anyway. I probably should have brought Hulk for this just to blow through it a little quicker, but we got this. So yeah, I'll be showing you guys something specific once we get through. Once we get out of this facility and get into the actual town, I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about for patrol mode. I got a jet, bro. All right, vape man. Hey, it's Friday. The work day ends at some point, and it's the end of the week, so you get some time off. Appreciate you coming through as always, bro. The game is giving everything we asked for just slowly. Yeah, but like I said, it could have been better, and it could still be better. And like I said, hindsight is 2020, but it's about incentive at this point. Like, is there a desire, or is it their intent to turn things around? So are they just using what they already have in place in terms of how they monetize things to generate a little more money for a little more flexibility behind the scenes? Or like I said, is that just a byproduct of, oh well, we greenlit these skins, so let's bundle them up with what's already there? Get some rest so you can be on later this evening. I'm rested for right now. Like I said, I called it an early night yesterday. I know I got we should have the after show this evening because I know we got a lot to talk about there. What you guys can definitely check out over on Sadat's Twitch channel. Sadat, if you drop a link to your Twitch in the chat so people can find you over there. But yeah, we every Friday night, me, Jay Shock Blast, and Sadat the Gamer host a podcast talking about weekly news and events and just gaming, pop culture in general. And it's a fun time. You should always check it out if you got some time on a Friday night. Lost my Wi-Fi. This happened to me yesterday. I don't know why. But yeah, as always. So this is the encounter I was telling you guys about. Like, you see the patrol on the police station is under attack and all of that. And then once you defeat them, the police come out and have a conversation with you. If CD Project Red can save Cyberpunk, the Enforcer Group, Embracer Group, I know what you mean, can save Marvel's Avengers. So yeah, you see these police officers? I know they're not in the greatest poses right now, but again, it's like we just saved somebody. We just saved actual people. The Avengers just did a good thing essentially, and I wish the game offered more of that. Where you're actually saving civilians. But if you just paid attention to Jarvis' dialogue in that scene, I know I was probably talking over it, but he talks about let me see. Let me try to reload checkpoint and see if that helps. F12. Okay, so I gotta change my settings so you guys can actually hear that instead of having to read it.
The machine in question is releasing toxic gamma gas into the air throughout town. If it does not kill when inhaled, it could potentially mutate the victim into a gamma-powered creature.
That is something we were like, we picked up on that immediately, because this, it sounds like they're, kind of heading towards something like Gamma World. If you're familiar with Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the cartoon, where the leader, he changed, he mutated a whole town of people. I think that was in Utah, if I'm not mistaken. But he mutated a whole town, including the Avengers, into gamma creatures. And that line that Jarvis just shared about people inhaling it and potentially turning into gamma-powered creatures is like, that's something we were hoping to see at some point, but as of yet, it's mostly just been aimed. And we got a few new enemies with Wakanda, but for the most part, it's like, this is the kind of stuff we were hoping to see at some point. I don't know why I'm going to the objective, but yeah, it's like, this is still Utah, and this is just a small town in Utah that, again, offers a lot of possibilities when it comes to a patrol. So you got, aim enemies. You can have a couple mercenaries pop up. You can have, Claw and his men pop up. Things like that. Just throw everything at it is what I'm saying. But I appreciate you hopping in, Sadat, helping me get access to this mission I no longer have. What would you like to see in a traversal update? I am glad you asked that question. Hopefully Barry Allen has a answer. Faster flying speeds for Iron Man and Thor. Faster running for Cap and Black Panther. Faster running for Hulk too. Let me throw that out there. Where is it? But yeah, if the Hulk can run faster, like running around facilities would be a lot better instead of trying to jump through there because you're constantly hitting your head on the ceiling and stuff. Black Widow riding a motorcycle with Bucky on the back, make it happen. Make it happen, AJ.
I suggest we pay the town a visit to disrupt them and remind Monica the Avengers are a...
But yeah, it's like I said, I don't know what's all feasible. Like, I don't know why certain limitations were put in place for the heroes as they are. But, we saw with Bucky, like, you could run fast, unlimited, without, consuming intrinsic and stuff like that. So it's like something like that should be the standard for, ground characters with varying speed. So, like, Black Widow and Hawkeye shouldn't be as fast as, Captain America and Bucky. But, like, this run for Hulk, this ain't it. this isn't it. So if he had an intrinsic run that allows him to burst out kind of like this, that would be cool. That would be fine for me. Like, just being able to run that fast would be better. His jump, like I said, AJ, if you can answer some reasons, I got you. Like I said, and that's always the assumption. Like, it has to be a reason behind it. But if it's some flexibility there, it's like I would love to see it. So, like, they got an Apple store in Utah. The game has some kind of budget. If you can afford an Apple store, you got some stuff going on for you. But AJ, if you can answer, and if you can't, like I said, I get it. A charge jump for Hulk, like just charging it a little bit, similar to what you see in like a sprint, run. Just let me do it indefinitely. So the way that Bucky can run around, just give me that for the Hulk. And like I said, the speed can pretty much be what, you know, he does for his assault heroic in general. So I'll let it power up. Yeah, like that, like he has pretty good speed to it. So guys, if you think that's good enough or you think it should be faster, you know, let me and AJ know in the chat. So share your opinion on that in the chat. I think the speed that Hulk runs, you know, for his assault heroic, that would be fine for him. Like, he is big. I know he's known to be faster, but it's like for this game and because it's, you know, certain limitations, it's like I get it. I'm not asking for much. So if moving him up to that speed as an intrinsic run and letting it not really consume intrinsic, that would be good enough for me. So it's like you just hold R2 to run fast, or like his rage run or something like that. Is like, you know, that would be fine. I thought I saw a person over here, but it was a bag. It's just bags flying around. Does Lego Avengers have Doctor Strange? I don't know. I haven't played Lego Avengers really. I thought this was a movie, Inhuman Quarantine Center. I'm like, hey, they really going in. Like, you gonna make people watch. Oh man, you can tell it's early. You can tell it's early because I'm tweaking. Like, what? Star Night Theaters presents Inhuman Quarantine Center, the movie. Yes, Doctor Strange DLC. But yeah, like, how difficult would it be to add, you know, a new mechanic like a charge jump for people? And the only people I really think should have something like that would be like the Hulk and Spider-Man. Like, you can make that exclusive to those two heroes. Like, Cap having a double jump, you know, feels like enough. Spider-Man, it felt like he should be able to do a little more since he doesn't have like a double jump or anything like that. So like a charge jump seemed like it would work. Yeah, just like being able to speed around. Just, you know, he covers a decent amount of ground doing that, but ooh, man. So it's like, yeah, if you can, you know, really just get a full-on sprint going, that would be cool. War Machine DLC with Crimson Dynamo villain. Yeah, Crimson Dynamo. Just pull resources from Hulkbuster and Iron Man, so he should have lasers and stuff like that. Reginald, you just gave me another idea because I was already working on a video for War Machine, like how he could actually play in Avengers, but I can do some villain concepts as well, using, you know, pulling from the resources that's already in the game. Because like Whirlwind, he could pull resources from Monica when you fight in the Cosmic Cube event. She has you know, she summons like a little tornado or something like that. Like something like that would work for him. Like small tornadoes, big tornadoes. Like that's literally his gimmick. And having him appear in a place like this, you know, for a patrol. So it's like he's over here attacking the police station or something like that. It works. But I'm gonna hop out of here. But yeah, it's like the game as it's designed still has a ton of potential, because it's like, I know most people mind just go straight to, we need a new engine, we need more of this, we need more of that. This game as it is can work on different levels, and it can open the door for you to do Avengers 2 with a bigger budget, or not a bigger budget, but a better engine, so you can do Avengers 2 on Unreal, because they're working with Unreal right now for Tomb Raider. So it's like you'll have experience with the engine, and you'll have experience from working with this game specifically. So the things that gave you the most trouble on Avengers, you know not to do that again. You know not to do those, not to bring those challenges over to Unreal, or those, you know, challenges might not be a thing with the Unreal Engine. So it's like, you know, you're kind of doing yourself a service both ways. But again, free to play. I'm glad you threw that out, Lil June. That free to play for this game specifically is big, because right now the perception around the game is it's bad, it's lazy, it's buggy, it's problematic, this, that, and the other, this, that, and the other. But people, when given the option to pick it up for free, have picked it up for free, and their perception of the game always is different from what the narrative suggests. So when they actually play the game, what's up, True Pac-Man? How you doing, bro? So when they actually pick up the game and play it for themselves, they're like, bro, this game is so much better than what the narrative says. I don't know why people hate this game. This game is actually pretty fun. You know, things like that. That's always what you hear, always what you read, always what you see when people actually give the game a chance. But they're not giving the game a chance because, one, they don't want to pay for it, because the perception of the game in general is bad. The second you say anything about this game, it's cool to say something snarky. Oh my God, that game is, people still play this, or, you know, just stuff like that. It's no matter who says anything about this game. So if IGN shows you something about this game, that's immediately in the comments. And if you actually look into the people who made that comment, they've been following the game. They actually play the game, but it's cool to pretend like we don't. So it's like, give people free access to the game, so you can try the game out at no additional risk to you. And now that you like it, now that you played it and tried it out, so now that you know, played our version of the Hulk and know that he's very different from any other Hulk you play or you can play right now, and you like that, here, check out some of the other characters, check out some of this other content. But for that, now that you know you actually like it and want it, you got to pay for that. Yeah, CBR, like, I don't know what's going on over there, bro. Like, that's baffling. But it's like, at the same time, it's like, that's the story with Avengers. The game everybody loves, but pretends like we love to hate it. Like, if you don't care about the game and don't want it to succeed and all this other stuff, it's like, you're not sticking around for this game, bro. Nobody's doing that for any other game. It's like, I understand being, you know, salty about some things, but it's like a lot of that stuff is people being salty about stuff that's not even related to the game. Like, you're on a hate campaign against a game because you're mad at, you know, somebody personally on the project or something like that. And it's like, that's weird. It's like, yeah, like, look at this. You can beat up a whole room full of enemies without really trying, because you can make your characters that strong. That's crazy. Now, I can't do that with everybody. Like, I can't just throw anybody in here and beat up that room of people on Brutal without paying attention. But, you know, you can, you know, like, the word around Spider-Man is just like, oh my God, he's trash. And compared to Fortnite, he's this. And compared to Spider-Man by Insomniac, he's this. And it's like, bro, his iconic suit is fine. It's like, I know we overly criticize any Superman suit, any Batman suit, any Spider-Man suit, but it's like, this is a dope suit. Their iconic design for the suit was dope. This suit, dope. Nobody saw that coming. Nobody, you know, predicted that. You can't go wrong with the classic suit. And then you got a couple MCU suits thrown in on top of that. You get what I'm saying? They could have done better than that. Objectively, the version of this suit that you got in Insomniac's game looks better. But again, it's like, this looks better here. So it's like, you get what I'm saying? There's a conversation to be had around it. Matter of fact, I like this one too. I like this one a lot. And it's, like I said, it's just a recolor, but it's a really good recolor. It's a dope recolor. And I think this was free. Yeah, you just get this from his challenge card, I believe. Let me see. Was it the challenge card? I don't know. I don't remember. I probably did pay for that. I don't know. Can't remember. But yeah, it's like, you know, going to the harm room with Spider-Man, and it's like, he is legit one of the funnest characters. Like, yeah, he doesn't hit as hard as we will probably want him to, and that's probably something that can be fixed in the future. But as far as like just saying he's not fun to play, it's like, that's cap. At least in my opinion, like maybe you don't like playing with them, I guess. And it's like I gotta remind myself to play with them more because it's like I get caught up in playing with everybody else or focusing on builds and stuff like that. But it's like I haven't even finished this build, so it's like, you know, play what you got for one. But yeah, it's like we can. It's so much, man. Like I just feel like shutting the door down on this game as it is like it's a waste because you're not going to get something like this, you know, anytime soon. Like, you're not going to get another one of these games anytime soon. Those people will never be happy with anything. Yeah, 100%, Jay. And we talk about it all the time. You already know. Like, they can announce Doctor Strange right now, and I guarantee you, there's going to be more than a couple people saying, why not Scarlet Witch? What about She-Hulk? You get what I'm saying? Like, no matter what they do, it's going to be met with criticism, like, no matter what they do. Like, keep in mind, they've been giving away this content for free for 2 years. You got Spider-Man for free. You got the operations and everything for free. And the second they go free to play, what's the narrative going to be? Oh, now they're trying to charge for content. They're greedy. But they've been giving it away for free for 2 years. And they're hesitant to even go free to play because they want to still uphold that promise of never charging you for content, even though it makes no business sense. You get what I'm saying? It's like that, but the narrative is going to be they're greedy, and it's like crazy. So it's like, yeah, I guess I can beat them up without really paying attention, but you know, same. But it's like, yeah, people, like, I can show you exactly who really solidified in my mind that this game was actually really good. Because, you know, in the campaign, you don't really get to play with Captain America. You only play with him for a little bit. Like, you get to play him a little bit in the beginning and then a little bit at the end. So it's like you really don't get to really see what his heroics and his combos and everything really are until you get him outside of the campaign. And it's like, the stuff that you can do with the shield, the stuff that he can do, you know, as far as running around, like stuff like that, I didn't know you can do until, you know, I got him outside of the campaign. And I realized, like, man, this combat is a lot deeper than what even, you know, the advertising suggests and what you can see in the campaign itself would suggest. And it's like, I can tell that's design wise. Like, they want you to, you know, kind of figure this stuff out for yourself, like they did with the Hulkbuster, being able to share that with your friends and stuff. But it's like Captain America is one of the coolest people. It's like, I get he doesn't hit as hard, like you're not one-shotting bosses and stuff like that with him. But it's just like, in terms of just pure gameplay design, he is one of the most fun people to play with. It's like I said, me personally, I genuinely just like the game, and when I really found out, you know, how deep the gameplay was, it's like that made me like it even more. The story experience is one of the best things the game has to offer, and then once I knew more people were coming, more heroes and stuff was coming, it's like, hell yeah, I'm sticking around for this, bro. Like, I want to see what everything we can get. And it's like, you got talk about Captain Marvel in the game, you got Loki being teased and stuff like that. It's like, bro, it's still so much they can do with the game as it is. Pay off some of those teasers. You know, some of that stuff we set up earlier in the game. I knew somebody was still there. it's like this game is legit dope as it is with flaws and all. It's like, yes, I can spark up a raid right now and probably get kicked or something like that because it's networking issues. And why are there networking issues? Because the game supports current gen and old gen, which is a problem a lot of newer games are actively seeking to avoid. So they're prioritizing current gen and leaving old gen behind, either permanently or until a later time. So Midnight Suns, you can play right now if you have current gen, but you can't play it on last gen until next year sometime because it causes problems. Like there's going to be problems both, just developing for both platforms and all of that stuff. And Avengers didn't shy away from that problem, even though because objectively it wasn't out at that time. You get what I'm saying? The PS5 didn't launch until after Avengers dropped, I believe. But even then, it's like that would have killed their sales even more because so many people that actively play this game right now are still on old gen. So it's like you just that would have cut off more people than Spider-Man. You get what I'm saying? It's like that would have been rough. But even then, it's like they can still do something like that in the future. But at this point, I don't know if it's worth it. If I could be wrong, it honestly probably would alleviate some of the headaches that they have with, creating content around this game, fixing certain things. Like a lot of bugs could magically go away just by no longer supporting old gen. And that's not something I'm advocating for because, again, the people who are still on old gen are a big part of the community. And the team behind the game recognized that as well. So it's like, I am in no way advocating that that's the thing, but I am drawing attention to the fact that that doesn't make things easier when it comes to developing things for this game specifically. The engine is not easy. Networking between current and old gen doesn't make things easier, and they're still showing up trying to fight to deliver more content and deliver things in general while giving that stuff away for free. So it's like a battle on all sides with no help. Like there is no help coming. We're not even helping ourselves, and it's crazy. It's like absolutely crazy. And I just wish some decisions were made to kind of just turn things around and combat that stuff a little bit, just a little bit. Like I know I got a ton of weekly and daily stuff now. Like I didn't even play yesterday during reset. I still got these things to do, which I never like playing this stuff on stream. Like I really don't like playing the game on stream for some reason. Like I feel like if I'm doing that, I'm not really paying attention to chat. Like I kind of get tunnel vision while running certain content, and it's like I try not to do that. But I feel like it was something else I wanted to show you guys. Let me see. And it's just, I'm sorry, but the current gen has been out for 2 years now. I see no excuse anymore. I mean, everybody doesn't have the same financial situations. People got, limited income. People have next to no income. And some people didn't get a PS4 until recently. So it's like, you got to think outside of yourself. Like, yes, I can afford to get a PS5. You can afford to get a PS5, but a lot of people may not have that option. It's like, I get it, but it's like there are people too. Avengers is a wide appealing IP. Like this appeals to so many different demographics of people and players and all of that stuff that is like, again, everybody's financial situation isn't the same. Yes, you can get a PS5 a lot easier now than you could a year ago, but still, it's like some of that stuff is still coming in bundles. It's that $500 isn't cheap. Like it's 2022. That's not cheap, bro. Like gas prices is high. So much stuff is going on that makes a $500 investment that you're not seeing a return on, because that's what it is, an investment. If you spending $500 on anything, you got to see some kind of return on that, or you should. That's how I look at money. So if you asking for $500, this better do something for me, either financially or offer me the potential to get something financial on the back end or something, because that's a big investment. And for somebody to not be in a position to make that kind of investment lightly, it's like, I get it, because you still got to pay for internet access. You still got to pay for PlayStation Plus or Xbox Game Pass and all of that stuff. Is like this. It only costs more from that, and then you got to pay for the game itself, and then you get into, hey, I got to pay for the content and stuff like that. So it's like that's a different kind of conversation, and it's like, I said, I understand where you're coming from. Like you're on the right side of it, so you're like, hey, if this is gonna make things easier and better on my side, then from your own self interest, it's like, yeah, let's just go all in on that. But it's like they have a lot more to consider in that regard. Like Gotham Knights, they were in a position where it's like, okay, well, we can afford to leave last gen. It sucks, but we weren't all the way committed to that at this point, so we're not cutting those people out after they already had the game or something like that. It's like, it's a little different. AJ, did you guys get a new combat designer after Vince Napoli's departure? Pretty sure he can't share something like that, but prove me wrong, I guess. But it's like, it just seems like some stuff, like there are a lot of challenges with this game in general, like just on so many levels. And it's like, I appreciate that they're still trying, and it's just like, I can tell that it just seems like they're boxed in certain regards and stuff like that. So it's like, you're not living up to the potential that the investors and the publisher and everybody had in mind for this IP specifically. What's up, Preach? How you doing, man? How you feeling? Hope the Friday is treating you well. But it's like, you still can, like, it's with just branding, marketing, and communication, you can sell this game as it is, free to play, and just sell the content that works. So it's like the operations, the and the heroes, those two things, in addition to selling marketplace items like skins and takedowns and things like that, that stuff is above criticism, because you go into the campaigns, you don't find the same problems like that you find with going into multiplayer content. So you're not getting kicked out of the campaign. You're not really falling through floors and stuff like that in the campaign and stuff like that. All of that stuff mostly comes from networking issues. Where the campaign, like I played the campaign before I played anything else, before I even touched the multiplayer stuff. And it's like, I don't, matter of fact, I don't think you had the option to do it the other way around day one. But yeah, I didn't have any of these issues. Like the stuff that I saw people complaining about online, about like falling through floors, getting stuck in hives and stuff like that. Like the game had a ton of problems when it launched, but it was mostly with in-game stuff. And the campaign is like, that went smoothly. Like I had no graphical issues. I didn't have any clipping issues or anything like that. Playing with the Avengers, getting the Stark Tech suits at the end and all of that stuff, is like, I didn't have any of those problems. Still got a bad chest infection, but still got a bad chest infection that is bad. I am smiling. Hey, Preach, like I said, bro, you're a fighter. You fighting through it every week. As always, I'm hoping things get better for you, man. But I appreciate you being here. And what you still playing right now, Preach? You playing Midnight Suns, or you still in Gotham? Because I know you probably haven't been on Avengers all that tough lately. But yeah, it's like just small tweaks and changes, to switch things up a little bit would definitely help. Let me see, what time is it? It's 11. I'm probably gonna wrap up here, and I'll probably be back later today. Probably like around 3. So I got some stuff I got to get this stuff sorted with the car. I don't want to let that get too far out. I was about to start up, running some raids or something with you guys, but it's like, that has the potential to let time get away from me. So it's like, I'm gonna handle my business first, come back, and then we can do some raids and cloning lab and OLTs and all of that stuff. So if you need to knock out a raid with your Bucky mission chain and the OLT and all of that stuff, come back for the second stream today, and I'll help you guys knock that stuff out. So the next stream will be dedicated solely to helping you guys knock out whatever content you need to get done for the week. And we can chat as always, but I'm gonna wrap it up here and go take care of some business before I completely get off track for the day, because it's Friday and it can get like that. But as always, I swear I appreciate you guys for hanging out. AJ, you the GOAT as always, man. You already know. The man, the jack of all trades over there at CD. If you haven't already, smash that like. Definitely help support the channel. And I will catch you guys later today. So if you need those raids and OLTs, make sure you come back, lock it in, and I got you. Peace.